Human demons are in our everyday lives. Some are family, others are unknown humans. Part 4. These human demons say things to you to control your perception, to throw you off guard, to make you think that it's you and not them. So keep in mind, keep your wits about you, and know that when you hear something, you're hearing it correctly, and that what they're saying is coming out of their heart. When they say the opposite of what you think that they're going to say, but they pretend like they're saying the things that are supposed to be said, the more human-like things, but they're not. That's a demon using that push and pull. They push you away, and then you pull you back. And that's what that is. You can see it in many situations. They make you become unsure of yourself, some of them, depending on what their game is at the time. And when they make you unsure of yourself, it makes them become more powerful. And this is when they start to control. And then they take you away from the light and bring you to the darkness. Be careful, oh so careful, because they come off really good at times. They take you from the joy that you have with the Father Yahuwah to something that is different. Now, if you are in the JC, G, and L, they're taking you down more so. Because remember, the JC, G, and L are not the correct names or titles. So you're more vulnerable. They do it so subtly, and they do it so carefully that they make it seem like it's you. And then you apologize for doing something to them when they did it to you. And that is exactly what happens. In this situation, you can get confused, and you're trying to figure out what it is that happened and why it happened and what you're doing to people. Because they make it seem like it's you when it is actually them. What they're doing is they're pushing it off on you and making it seem like it's you, projecting it onto you. Everything is projecting. I had this person, and this is another testimony. I had this person, I had a channel that I was starting, and this woman came into the channel, and then she was coming towards me. I'm not the one that brought her into the channel. Somebody else did. But she kept wanting to be friends with me. So I was the target. And at first I had the wall up. And then I became friends. And when I became friends, I let my guard down. And during this time, I had flies in my apartment. I had never had this before. I had lots of spiritual attacks, dreams, and everything. I had never had this in this way that it happened ever in my life. It was different. Everything was projected off of her. And then when I became more friends, thinking that she was my friend, then she started backing away. So bottom line is, be oh so careful with people. Do not trust and do not think that they are friends or sisters when they're in a situation like that, or any situation. Because these people, these demons, come after you to take you down. I caught her in lies. I caught her in deception. I caught her in thieving. I caught her in many things. You think that you're too sensitive, or you're not enough sensitive, or you're too anything, or not enough of anything. They have you to where they are trying to control you. These demons know just how to do it. So brace yourself for the ride and know that you give it all to the Father Yahuwah, and He will keep you out of it. And if you happen to get into it, He will bring you back. They use you, they abuse you, they watch you, and they smile. It is satanic. Something that they do, which is whatever kind of way, and if you do the same thing, you get criticized. And when you bring it up to them, they lie and they say that they never did it. Genesis 3, verse 1. And the serpent was more crafty than any beast of the field, which Yahuwah, the Almighty Father, had made. And he said to the Asha, is it true that Yahuwah has said, do not eat of every tree of the garden? It shows you just how cunning that Satan was, and that same cunning way about them is used by his minions today. The demons of today are the same demons of back then, because they're just in the spirit realm, and then they come into flesh by taking over a weak-minded being, or else they are shape-shifting into that look. But whichever way that it is, they're using you and abusing you. Sign number 3, they crush your dreams. They make it seem like you are being so worldly, you are being so unreal for your dreams. And yet everything that they do is perfect. They describe themselves in a way to make you think that they are this special person, but they are covering and pretending and manipulating during all of that time. Slowly and strategically, they chip away and chip away until it gets bare. Have you ever felt a dream inside of you and then it was squelched by somebody else? I just had it happen with a family member. And I told him, you don't understand my path with Yahuwah. You don't understand it at all. Yahuwah decides what I do, and it is up to Him. It's not up to anybody else. And then they say, are you sure that's what you're supposed to do? Can you afford that? How are you going to be able to do it? And then they squelch it. But if you're strong, then you tell them that it's because you're doing the will of the Father Yahuwah. And they just don't understand it. Because they're being used by a demon, but they don't understand that they're being used by a demon. They say that you're being selfish chasing that you're not in it for the family, that you are doing it for you and nobody else, and you owe it to the family. Just remember, we are in control of our free will. And if we choose to be with the Father and choose the Father, then that's what we do. We don't change it because of somebody else's whim, because of them saying that, are you sure? Why you're doing that for Yahuwah? Why don't you do it for the family? We miss you. We want you back like you were before. We want you to be like this. But what it is they want to control you. They want to tell you everything to do. They want to act like they are your boss and that you are the wrong one because you have changed. You need to come back to the family. Has this sounded like your family? Because that's how mine did and is doing. Oh, and then they say, I'm just trying to protect you from disappointment. You know how you are. And then when you come back at them and tell them it doesn't matter what they think or what they say, then they come at you from a different angle. So when you deal with this from day to day, why you have to go through this is to make you stronger. Satan has to go and ask if he can do something to you. And when he asks, and then the Father Yahuwah okays it, then the reason that he okayed it is so that you can be stronger and see how many angles that they try to come after you. It's all about strengthening you and see how you do it in the long haul. And that the fact that your family is coming after you from every angle, and that's the ones that can get you the worst, they think, but the Father is preparing you to show you that you don't need that all you need is Him. And they don't even believe. They think that, in my instance, they think that I have my eyes covered with a veil. I said, no, I don't. I'm very awake. I said, it's you that doesn't know. What they're trying to do is cage you and stop you from being able to open up that door and get out. They're boxing you in. Your dream threatens that control. After I had said no, then the person came back and said, oh, don't leave. Oh, don't do this. You know, it's okay. Because they're trying to pull you in. And when they can't manipulate you to pull you in, then they come at you in even a different way than that. So just watch everything. The mannerisms, as I have said before, the words that they have spoken, the way that they use you, the way that they abuse you, the way that they change up the wording, but it's in your mind that you're hearing it the way they're saying it, but then if you confront them on it, they say that they didn't say it. So what you're hearing is correct. Like if they're saying that it's black, but it's actually white, and when you confront them and say, well, why'd you say it was black? No, I said it was white. That's the kind of things that they do. So be aware that they're trying to pull you down. Your joy makes them itch because your dream has threatened their control over you. You can actually see it in action. And it's like you can chuckle on the inside because you know that the demon's doing it. And sometimes these demons are just so, well, it's that I guess what it is, it's not that they're so this or that. It's that you've matured and become stronger. That's about all I can say. Your ambition and the things that you want to do makes them realize what they lost, their dreams that they never had, the things that they wanted but they never could do. And then they blame it on you. They dig into your confidence. And then you can see that it's a multi-generational thing that they're doing. That you see the same pattern, that the demon jumped from one person when they passed away and came into that person. And now that same demon is coming at you and trying to do the same thing, manipulation. They actually, it's funny, they dress it up as honesty or love. But make no mistake, these comments are not random. They're to cut at you and cut at you and cut at you, because Satan knows what your Achilles tendon is, and he comes at you all the time. They are strategic assaults meant to break you down, to break that wall down, to break your confidence down, to break you as a being and to get you away from Yahuwah. But you tell him no. And you know what the best part is? You can use that R word. Rebuke them. You rebuke them in the name, power, blood, and authority of YAHUSHA HaMashiach. I have done that before. I have done it with my family twice, if not more. And they kind of have a deer in the headlights look on their face when you do it. They try to get your courage down. And then if that happens, then your vision dims. And it makes you feel smaller. And it makes you think that what you were doing is not going to work. You abandon what Yahuwah is trying to get you to do that'll help you out, because they have used it against you and come after you and made you belittled by their mouth. But be strong and tell them what they don't know. I had one of them say that my eyes were covered by a veil and that they were awake. And I said, no, I'm awake. But I did tell them this. I said, you eat venison and you eat just a little bit of pork. I said, you're oh so close to being clean, because you are only eating a little bit of the pork, but you're eating mainly venison, and venison is a clean item in what the food laws are. They tried to make their voice louder than the Father Yahuwah. They try to make you doubt Yahuwah. They try to make you worship them and think that they are all that, when nothing on this earth is all that. Yahuwah can never be topped, can never be changed, can never be any kind of a way that they're trying to make it seem like. This is sabotage because they want you small, quiet, and manageable. But Yahuwah has designed you with boldness. Even though you've been meek before with them, He's designed you, and your actual way about you is coming out. And you start to stand on your own because the Father is backing you, and you know it, and you can feel it.